on the road tonight for 5A second round playoffs, and it's December, and it's usually semifinals time, but we're only in the second round. It's a COVID year, and East Ascension's still alive, but they've got a tough one here tonight. They're the 16 seed, 5-3, and they are here in Scott. We're at Bill Dotson Stadium, and that means they're playing Acadiana, the top seed and the defending state champion. The Wrecking Rams 7-1 on the season. It's going to be a tough one for the Spartans tonight, but they're here and they're ready to go, and we'll be ready to go in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
And EATEL continues to stay ahead of the curve with the fastest speeds. Plus, our eRow whole home Wi-Fi will eliminate dead spots in your home. EATEL takes the hassle out of setting things up so you get our #1 rated reliability from the bedroom to the patio. As always, you will get the personal service you deserve from EATEL. Fast, local, reliable.
Get ready to kick off the savings at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. Save $11,000 on new 2020 Sierra or 2020 Envision, $13,000 off at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. New Sierra, $11,000 off. 2020 Envision, $13,000 off. RossDowningHammond.com. RossDowningGonzales.com.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Hi, Monica Arnold, reminding you that your support of EATEL Cares is helping education in our area. Volunteer Ascension is a dynamic organization in our area. Their annual School Tools Drive gets kids the resources they need to succeed. The EATEL Technology Awards provides laptops for college to deserving seniors. Teachers are awarded cash for resources through our Reach a Kid grants. We could not do it without your patronage. Thanks for supporting EATEL and education.
The EATEL Game of the Week. Jeff Porsche with you from Bill Dotson Stadium in Scott, and the Acadiana Wrecking Rams. You see them coming out onto the field as they are the defending 5A state champions and 7-1 on the season, the top seed in Class 5A, and they will be taking on the East Ascension Spartans, who you can see coming onto the field right now. And as you saw, they're 5-3 on the season, coming off a win in the playoffs first round over Captain Shreve, and they're the visiting 16 seed here tonight. And we are just about ready to go. And before we get started, we can take a look at some of the information about tonight's game. Let's start with some information about the coaches. East Ascension, they're coached by Darnell Lee, and he's 38-18 overall, and he just won his 6th playoff game. More about that later. And Acadiana High, 33-3, Matt McCullough, and he just kind of takes over the program that's already been successful for many years and taken home many state championships. This is the 3rd meeting overall, and it's tied 1-1. This is the third playoff appearance. And Acadiana won the first one. East Ascension won the second one. And you can see the captains headed out to the field. And Boykins is the captain for East Ascension. And the captain for Acadiana, number 85, Rashawn Richards. He's a senior wide receiver. So we're just waiting for the toss. There it is. East Ascension's calling it. Believe they have won the toss. So Acadiana deciding which side of the field they will defend. And they have actually declined or deferred to the second half. And so East Ascension will receive to start the game. So we are moments away from the opening kickoff here at
Please stand and remove your hats for the prayer.
Acadiana High, but we'll take it to the prayer right now.
Father, we come before you today to give you thanks for giving these athletes the strength and endurance to play this game. We pray that the players would compete to the best of their abilities, and we ask you to protect them against all injuries. Father, we thank you for the support from all of our parents, families, friends, faculty, cheerleaders, band, and community. Their belief in us helps us to unite as a team. And we also pray for those who are fighting for our country and for those who have given their lives for our freedom, and that you may comfort those who are affected by this. Father, we thank you for everything that you have done and for all the things that are to come. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Our national anthem
So the national anthem performed by Acadiana High's band, and now we are ready to get started with this game here tonight. Second round playoff action. It's cold out here in the 50s and the 40s, maybe into the 30s by the end of the night, but not before this game is over probably. But it's going to be a cold one, and East Ascension is going to take the field first on offense after the opening kickoff. And we can talk about their offense a little bit. Troy Dunn is their quarterback. He took over about halfway through the season after platooning with Cullen Wheat, but Wheat is hurt, and Dunn has been the quarterback. He is 61 of 122 on the season, 807 yards, and he has 11 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He's also run for 111 yards and 1 touchdown. The offensive line, Quinn, Jackson, Soniet, Schuster, and Richardson. And the running backs, you got the two-headed monster with Walter Samuel and Kendall Washington. Receivers, Jupiter, Chopin, and Goodlow, and the tight end, Jaquel Mack. And we are just about ready to go. That means Cale Babin's going to be deep. You also have Goodlow back deep to receive.
Number 3, Cale Babin.
And we are just about ready to go.
Michael Harris.
And there's the opening kickoff. And it's going to be taken by Babin at the 5. And he's going to take it right up the middle, go to the right side, and he breaks one tackle, dives ahead to near the 30-yard line, shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for East Ascension right there. We already talked about the Spartan offense. Let's take a look at the Acadiana defense. They play a 4-3. Cam George, Trey Bozier, Walter Bobb, Caden Anderson on the defensive line. Derek Bercier, Caleb Arsenault, Chris Celestine at linebacker, Kendrick Richard, Drolin Anthony at corner, Ian Monson, Desmond Chasson at safeties. And now it's 1st and 10. And the right defensive end, Anderson, jumps. And this looks like it may go against Acadiana. So 5 yards. So East Ascension will start with a 1st and 5. And looking out there, you see Keandre Johnson in at fullback, working out of the shotgun. And Samuel, the man in the backfield. You have Goodlow and Chopin to the left, Jupiter to the right. Good look at the offensive skill players. And a quick pass going to Goodlow, and it is incomplete, just short of his intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard penalty before the previous play. And looking at the replay right there, nearly in the vicinity of defensive back Richard, I believe. Make that, yes, that is Richard. And it's 2nd down and 5 early on in this game. And ball's on the ground, but he does pitch it off to Samuel, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage maybe. So first 2 plays, not much there. As you see the snap under center, he drops it, and the pulling guard nearly kicked it, but he gets it off to Samuel. And they're going to say he got a yard to the 34-yard line. You can see the field already getting eaten up there. It's we had a freeze this week, and so the ground's going to be kind of sloppy out there. Hadn't rained since yesterday, so it's going to be a little bit sloppy. It's been a beautiful day out here so far in Lafayette. 3rd and 4, done from the shotgun. And it's going to be an option. Pitches it to Samuel, and he's close. We're going to have to see where it is marked. And they're going to say that he is shy of the 1st down by 1 yard, and they're going to say he was tackled inbounds, and so the clock will continue to run. But it's going to be 4th and short for the Spartans and a punting situation. And so Kern will come in to punt for East Ascension. That's Evan Kern. And he gets it away, and it's a good punt. It's a little short. Bounces at the 39 and takes a sideways bounce to about the 37. The deep back was Ian Montz, number 1. Ball did not get to him, and so now the Acadiana Rams and the Veer are ready to go. Jeremiah Brown will play quarterback, and they got lots of running backs. Amiri Wiggins, Tyven Zeno, Dontrell Arsenault, Kevin Williams, and Braven Broussard. And you're going to see a ton of them out there. You know what's coming. And on 1st down, Brown gets the signal and hands it off right up the middle. And nice hard running right up the middle. That's number 2, Tyven Zeno. And so he gets about 5 yards on the carry. So nice run, as you can see there on the replay. Receivers are Rodney Beerb and Christian Hawkins. Tight end Josh McDaniel. Offensive line Donald Collins, Dylan Fant, Dalen Childs, Justin Babineau, and Rustin Bennett. It's 2nd down and we'll call it 4. And just a run up the middle. And that time stopped by the East Ascension defense after a short gain of about 1. And so it's going to be 3rd down and 3. The line for East Ascension, Jarrell Boykins, Ashton Milton, and Martez Scott. Linebackers, Marcellus Taylor, Brenton Ragusa, Riante Jones, Blake Thompson. Cornerbacks, Kendrick Broussard, Brennan Thompson, And the safeties Justin Walker and Cale Babin. So third down and a short 3 on Acadiana's opening offensive drive of the night. And so the handoff up the middle, and it's going to be close. And from the spot, he looks like he might have got it by a foot. As we look at the replay, and Dontrell Arsenault with the carry right there. And it is just enough for the first down. That's what you're going to see. Just runs up the middle. And this is going to be what you see all night. They just run it and run it and run it and dare you to stop it. But they are going up against a very strong East Ascension defensive line. So they're going to have their work cut out for them. You see 5 down linemen. And handoff up the middle and breaks through, and that's Zeno. But the ball's on the ground, and East Ascension has recovered. And they're going to rule a fumble, it looks like. Let's take a look at it. Yes, that ball was definitely free. Knocked away by Kendrick Broussard. Great play by Broussard. That guy is on fire right now. He has 4 interceptions in the last couple of games, and now he forces the fumble and the fumble recovery by East Ascension, and they get the ball at the 41-yard line with 8:23 left to go in the first quarter. So the first mistake of the night comes from the Rams, the defending state champions. Troy Dunn now with Kendall Washington in the backfield on 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. Dunn. He's going to throw it downfield, up for grabs, and there's the second mistake of the night. First one on the East Ascension side, and it is picked off. And so Acadiana gets the ball right back. It's hard to read the numbers on that Acadiana side. Looks like Desmond Chesson with the interception. And just like that, after one play, Acadiana's offense back on the field. That's about where they punted the ball to. They're a couple of yards, just 1 or 2 yards ahead. And here comes the veer again, right up the middle. And another hard run. And that is Zeno again. And he gets about 9 yards. And this is what you're going to see, just right up the middle. And that offensive line just pushing ahead, and they get 9 yards on first down. It's not going to be pretty tonight. You're not going to see a lot of razzle-dazzle. You're not going to see a lot of excitement if running the ball right up the middle is not your definition of excitement. But they're just so good at it, and it's hard to stop them. 2nd and 1. And another handoff right up the middle. And he breaks free. And that is Amari Wiggins, number 22, on the carry. And that time they try the left side off the left tackle. And he gets 6 yards. And so 1st and 10 for Acadiana from the 45-yard line. 7:23 left to go in the first quarter. No score so far here tonight. They do have one receiver split out to the right. And they're going to run the option here. And there's the pitch. And nice hard running by Wiggins, and he gets close to 10. He's close to another first down. Pitched it out at the exact right time, got past Cale Babin, and then was taken down by a couple of East Ascension defenders. I believe that was Ragusa on the tackle. It is enough for a first down. So East Ascension got a break with the fumble recovery, but they gave it right back on an interception. And now here comes Acadiana on offense. Handoff up the middle. They're going to run it till you stop it. And then they're going to run it some more, and that's Zeno. So it's 2nd and 5. It doesn't look complex, does it? but it's so effective, and they have won so many state championships by doing this, and you know what's coming, and you can't stop it most of the time. Second and 5. And there it is again, and that's Wiggins again. And he's got a first down. Getting close to the 20-yard line.
The gain of 9. The Reagan Rams will have it 1st and 10.
So you see him trying the left tackle. They haven't done a lot of that. But it was successful right there. That's Riante Jones with the tackle. And the ball is down to the 21, so they are approaching the red zone. When Acadiana gives you a turnover, you can't just turn it over right back on the next play, and you see what happens when it does. That time they stop him after a short gain. Gain of about 2. That's Zeno on the carry. And the other thing you're going to notice is this game's going to move very quickly because all they do is run the football right up the middle. And so you're not going to see, we probably will not be here too late tonight. So 2nd down and 8 from the 19. Now Acadiana inside the red zone. And the option again, and the pitch. And Acadiana doesn't get much as Cale Babin stays home and covers his man on the pitch, and it's a short gain of about 2, so it's 3rd and 6. That was Amari Wiggins on the carry again, number 22. So it's going to be 3rd and a long 6. It might even be 7. We're going to say he got 1 on that play, so let's call it 3rd down and 7. So a 3rd and long situation for the Wrecking Rams. They don't get a lot of those. And they're going to look to the coaches, and we have a whistle. And I believe a timeout has been called by Acadiana, and so we'll keep it here with 3:56 left to go in the first quarter. And let's look at the East Ascension playoff notes overall. They are the 16 seed, and their highest ranking ever, they were the 3 seed in 2013. And East Ascension is in the playoffs for a record 8th straight year, including the last 5 years under Darnell Lee. So Darnell Lee has really taken this club to another level. And in the regional round, they've advanced to the regional round for the 5th straight year. And the stadium streak, this is the 4th year in a row that they have hosted a by-district round game, and the 6th time in the last 8 years. So there were some lean years before Darnell Lee got there, but Darnell Lee has got the program up and moving. Nearly made it to the semifinals a couple of years ago, but some bad breaks out of John Errett kept them from advancing. And so far they played the best 5A non-select team in the state to no points about 9 minutes into the first quarter. But Acadiana is driving. And there's Zeno on the carry, and he cuts outside. He's got lots of room. He may score. He's close to the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. And so Acadiana, 3rd down and 7, and they just give it to Zeno on a little sweep, and good blocking downfield. The receivers do a great job of blocking their men, and again, assignment football. Acadiana is so good at it, and they get 6 points with 3:49 left to go in the first quarter. So Martinez comes in to kick for the Wrecking Rams. So the extra point coming, and it is up. And we have a flag, so let's see what that is. Never saw a official signal. Flag will be against the Wrecking Rams, so they will have to kick from 5 yards further back. So Martinez, Jesus Martinez, coming in to kick the extra point. The holder, Rodney Beerb, a wide receiver for Acadiana. It's now from 25 yards out. Good snap. Kick is up, and it's no good. And so definitely enough, but I believe it was wide left. And so 6-0 is our score. 3:49 left to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You are watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Piku Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Eustis Mortgage, Ross Downing GMC for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
So Acadiana High is up 6-0 after a 17-yard touchdown run by Tyven Zeno, number 2, for the Wrecking Rams. And now they'll kick off for the second time here tonight, late in this first quarter. Acadiana took advantage of an East Ascension interception. This ball will be taken at about the 6 by Cale Babin. And he is tripped up and down by number 1. Nice open field tackle right there by number 1, Ian Montz. Look at him right there, just a little shoestring tackle. And that puts East Ascension in a hole for their second drive. And it's going to be at the 11-yard line. So the last time East Ascension had the ball, Troy Dunn threw an interception, and Acadiana drove the ball 69 yards and got the touchdown from Zeno. It's now 1st and 10 for Dunn and the Spartans. And it's a quick pass to Jupiter, and they're going to see what he can do in open space. Not much that time. As a good open field tackle. And you see these guys are just great at fundamentals. That's Desmond Chesson, I believe,
Xavier Jupiter
on the tackle.
They're going to give him a gain of 1.
They're going to get 1 yard on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Spartans as they trail 6-0.
John Eric 7, East St. John 0.
Shotgun formation.
Manville 3, Lafayette High 0.
Jupiter goes in motion for the Spartans. And a quick pass on 2nd down, complete. And Goodlow just can't get free, and he's going to lose yards. These guys are just ferocious and great tacklers. As you see, number 6 right there, Caleb Arsenault. They're just like dogs with a bone. They just go after their guys, and they get them. And a 2-yard loss on the play, so it's 3rd and 11. East Ascension trying to get their speed guys in some open space, but one-on-one tackles. And that gives East Ascension a 3rd and long, and they're in a deep hole now. See 2 guys left and 1 to the right, and we have a whistle. And East Ascension's going to call their first timeout. And so both teams have called 1 timeout so far. And let's take a look at the all-time playoff records now for East Ascension. And their all-time playoff record, they are 21-27. At Spartan Stadium, though, they're 15-12, but they just have trouble winning on the road like most teams do in the postseason. 6-15 overall. Their last home playoff win was last week. They beat Captain Shreve 28-14. Their first playoff game was lost to West Jefferson 8-0. Their first playoff win was against Lafayette High in 1976. In their deepest playoff run, they reached the semifinals in 91, but lost to Neville at Spartan Stadium. A tough one right there, 34-27. Always hard to beat Neville High back in those days. And it's 3rd and 11. East Ascension needs to get out of this hole, because if they don't, The Wrecking Rams have good field position after a punt. Deep pass downfield, and they're looking for Chopin. He's open for a second, but over the wrong shoulder, I believe, and long by about 10 yards. Drolin Anthony was the back in coverage, but they tried to open up the field right there and go vertical. Did not work. It's a good idea, but now that's going to give most likely East Ascension, they're going to give the ball to Acadiana on their own side of the field. Kern will get it away, and there's some pressure, but he does get it away. And it's a short punt to about the 42-yard line. And so Acadiana has great field position with 1:59 left to go in the first quarter. And now this is where Acadiana is so dangerous because you know what's coming. And like I said, if they can keep that ball on the ground and get just positive yardage right up the middle, they don't even have to open up the outside game. And so far, East Ascension's had their troubles. They did get a fumble on the opening drive, so they did stop them once, but in the second drive, they drove down the field and scored on a 3rd and 6. First down run right up the middle. And a short gain. Not much.
It's a gain of 2.
That was number 4.
Bring up 2nd and 8.
Kean Williams. He got 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8 for Acadiana High as we are a minute and a half away from the end of the first quarter. We'll give you updates as we hear from them from other games in the state. On 2nd down, there's an option, and it looks like he's going to keep it, and the quarterback breaks a couple of tackles, gets down to about the 33. That's Jeremiah Brown. He's 6 foot, 205-pound junior quarterback. And there's a penalty on the play, and it's a hold, and so Acadiana will be pushed back 10 yards, and so now they have a 2nd and long. They have not had a lot of 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations. Probably the deepest hole they were in was 3rd and 7, and they scored a touchdown on the next play.
2nd and 17 for the Rams.
Clock running now. We're about to go inside of a minute before this play runs. See number 85 coming into the game for Acadiana. That's Rashawn Richards. So 2nd and about 16, and a handoff up the middle, and not much. So now it's going to be 3rd and very long, 3rd and about 15. After Wiggins carries the ball for a short gain. We're going to call it 3rd and 14.
Gain of 2.
And there's 25 seconds left to go in this first quarter. I don't believe they're going to have to run a play if they choose not to. Play clock is not running. It's at 0 right now. So I would assume that that means that they don't need to run a play, don't need to run the clock. And they're not going to. And so we're going to end this first quarter with a 6-0 score. Acadiana leading East Ascension. And we'll go to the second quarter in just a moment. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Piku Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Eustis Mortgage, Ross Downing GMC for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
And we're back, 6-0, Acadiana High with the lead. And we talked earlier about Coach Darnell Lee with the win last week. He moved to the second round of the football playoffs for the 5th straight year, and it gave him his 6th career playoff win. And with that 6th win, he has more wins than any coach in East Ascension history. So the East Ascension alum taking his team and taking them to levels that they haven't reached. So congratulations to Darnell Lee. Get to talk to him every week on Sports Scene Live, and he's a great guy to talk to, and he's a good coach and a good guy. And I'm glad to see that. So it's 3rd and about 14 left to go. And quarterback's going to possibly throw it. He's rolling out, and he is going to be wrapped up for a loss by Riante Jones. And Jeremiah Brown was looking downfield but could not get free. And when you look at the defensive line and the linebackers for East Ascension, they are so fast. And Riante Jones just wrapped him up. So East Ascension's defense rises to the occasion as they gave the ball to the Rams on the East Ascension side of the field, but the defense makes a stand, aided by a holding penalty, but they made the stop. And now let's see if Cable Babin can get a chance to make something happen on the punt return. As there's the snap, and it's a end-over-end punt, and it's going to take an Acadiana bounce to about the 15-yard line. So an effective punt.
Spartans will have it 1st and 10.
Wasn't pretty, but it was effective. I believe that was Samuel Key with the punt. And so it'll be 1st and 10. And East Ascension has not had a first down yet, and this is their 4th drive of the night. So they need to get some first downs here, if not for anything else, to kind of flip the field and change the field position, because Acadiana is winning the field position battle right now. So now the shotgun, and there's a handoff to Samuel, and he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be a loss. Tackled by number 3, Derek Bercier. And that's one thing that I've noticed here. You know that Acadiana is going to run that predictable veer offense, but the thing about them, too, is their defense is very underrated. And you can see these guys just get to their guys, and they are just great tacklers. You haven't seen any broken tackles here tonight, or any missed tackles, if you want to look at it that way. 2nd and 11, shotgun. Quarterback throwing downfield. He's looking for Chopin, and it's over his head just barely. Oh, he nearly was able to come down with that, and that would have gone for a long gain, but the pass incomplete. And as you look on the replay, it's just about there, and maybe if he was another inch or two taller, he could have come up with that. But that was their chance right there, and it's 3rd down and long with 10:25 left to go. We're in the 2nd quarter. Acadiana has been in control of this game. East Ascension still looking for their first down on offense. I'm very impressed with this Acadiana defense so far. Shotgun. Dunn looking to his left, and he floats one just over the head of Samuel. That would have been another big gain. They're just missing by inches. Good offensive play calling on that drive, but the quarterback just could not connect, and it's going to be 4th down. And now it looks like Acadiana will get the ball once again on the EA side of the field. Ian Montz, senior free safety, is back deep to receive. He's 6'2", 180 pounds senior. He's a big guy. He's a great player as well. Kern is now in to punt. And that is blocked. And it's picked up, I believe, by the Wrecking Rams, and they're going to go into the end zone with it. As number 6 gets the ball. And that is Caleb Arsenault, a senior linebacker, as you see Kern trying to get it off. And let's see who comes in on the block. Can't quite see it, but the ball is picked up right there by Arsenault, and he gets into the end zone, and that makes the score 12-0. So the second mistake of the night for East Ascension, as opposed to one for the Wrecking Rams, and it looks like the Rams are going for two. And they're going to run the option, keeps it near the end zone, and he's in. 2-point conversion for the quarterback, Jeremiah Brown. And so it's 14-0 as you see the 2-point conversion on the replay. And so it's 14-0. Acadiana with the lead. We'll take a break. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Piku Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Eustace Mortgage, Ross Downing, GMC, for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
So now it's 14-0. East Ascension now in a hole after a block punt returned for a touchdown by the Rams, and also a 2-point conversion is successful. So they get those points back. And you see the usual suspects back deep for the Spartans, and they need to get a good return right here, if not for anything else, but to kind of change this momentum in the field. And it's a pooched kick. And it's going to be taken at the 25, and that's Samuel. So Walter Samuel, one of the upbacks, and he's a nice running back as well, but he gets the ball and returns it to about the 32-yard line. So East Ascension has very good field position after a short pooch kick by the Wrecking Rams. And now let's see if East Ascension can do something on offense. They still are yet to find a first down. They had some nice, well-executed plays, but the passes were just out of the reach of the intended receivers on that previous drive. And on first down, there's Samuel, and that's not doing anything. And so number 90, Cam George at defensive end, just wraps them up, and this is the theme that I've been saying. Once they get their hands on you, you're down, and they lose 5 on the play. So it's 2nd and 15. I'm more impressed with Acadiana on defense than I am on offense so far here tonight. This defense is swarming so far. Quick pass complete. And that is Jaquel Mack, and he's going to get the 5 yards back to make it 3rd down, and we'll call it 10. That was Bercier on the tackle, number 3.
On the tackle for the Rams.
East Ascension desperately needs to get a first down here.
3rd and 10 for the Spartans.
Looking to the sidelines for the play. 14 left to go on the play clock. Now 5 seconds. They're going to have to hurry. There it is. And Dunn looking to his right. And he's got Mack, and he is wide open and all alone. Gets past midfield. And now East Ascension's moving downfield. He gets down to the 49-yard line of the Wrecking Rams, and a nice passing catch, finding the open man. So Jaquel Mack, you saw him with that beautiful touchdown catch in overtime a couple of weeks ago against Santamon. He's been working more in this offense. He has 15 catches for 181 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season. First down, and there's Kendall Washington, and he's going to try the left side, and he's pushed back after a short gain. Forward progress is going to get him about 3, down to close to the 46 before he's wrapped up. I believe that's Bercier on the tackle. I'm going to say he got 2, so he's going to get to the 47-yard line. So East Ascension with their first down and their first penetration into Acadiana High territory with 7:55 left to go in this second quarter. And quarterback Dunn rolling out to his right, throwing toward the sidelines out of bounds. He threw in the general vicinity of Mack, but he was covered very well. Not open at all, covered by 44, Nick Carrier, senior linebacker. So it's 3rd and 8, and if this third down conversion is not successful, at least they have flipped the field a little bit and should be able to pin Acadiana back if they do not convert, and that's really important. So that pass to Mack earlier meant a lot. Now you see both backs in the backfield, Washington and Samuel. And they're working out of the shotgun. 2 receivers right and 1 left. And they're looking right, and they're throwing complete to Jupiter to the 33, and it's a first down. And this drive will continue. So East Ascension showing a little bit of fight. As you see a nice pitch and catch there, and Jupiter finds a space and is wide open. And now East Ascension is driving. They need to do something as they trail 14-0.
First and 10 for the Spartans. From the Wrecking Ram 32-yard line.
So there's a shotgun. Now he's looking left. Throws deep downfield, and he's got a receiver, and it's overthrown again. Chopin. He just can't get to Chopin. He's tried 3 deep passes here tonight, but all of them have just missed. I believe over the wrong shoulder twice and just out of his reach the 3rd time. Chopin, the tallest receiver that they have out there, but still can't come up with the receptions here so far tonight. And he has 17 catches for 273 yards and 4 touchdowns. And on 2nd down, pass upfield, and nearly a one-hand catch by Mack, incomplete. Would have been a beautiful catch for another first down. As you look at the replay, and he had a tight window to throw it in there, and it was a little bit high, but he could not pull it off. Getting word now that Dutchtown has taken the lead over at Destrehan. They lead 7-0. So now 3rd down and 10 from the 33-yard line. And there's a handoff to Samuel up the middle, and it's close, and it might be a first down. A passing situation, 3rd and long, but little surprise there as the handoff goes to Samuel. And they're going to say he's close, and they're going to say a first down. So here comes the Spartans. And as I said, Dutchtown with the lead, 7-0. If one of these two teams can pull off a victory here tonight, there's a strong possibility that our game of the week next week will be that game, or if both of them win, one or the other, or maybe both, who knows. I believe Dutchtown is in line to get a home game if they do win tonight. East Ascension might need some help. First down, there's Samuel. And breaks a couple of tackles, but doesn't get much further. They do get into the red zone, though. So a short gain by Samuel. Good job breaking tackles and getting a few extra yards, but there's a penalty on the play. And it's going to be holding against the Spartans, so that's going to be a tough one. So they don't get into the red zone. And so from the spot of the foul, it's going to be a 13-yard penalty. So it's going to be 1st and 23. From the 34-yard line. Shotgun snap done. Looking deep. Looking for Chopin. He's got him, and it is in and out of his hands. Oh, he should have caught that one.
Dunn's pass falls incomplete.
Oh, he missed Chopin 3 times tonight, and that time it was right there. Look at it. Can't quite see it on the replay, but he had him there, and that was their chance right there to get into the end zone right away, but they miss. And that stops the clock with 5:50 left to go before halftime. East Ascension has been very close. One of these times they're going to connect on that deep pass if they keep at it. Second down and a fake, and now rolling out, and they dump it to Mack, incomplete.
Dunn's pass intended for number 10.
Would have been a short gain right there, but looked like they were trying to set up the screen perhaps to Samuel, but that got blown up, and so then they look to Mack, and he can't pull it in, and so it's 3rd and 24. And so this penalty, this holding penalty, really painful to East Ascension as they got the ball into the red zone. But with the penalty, got pushed back to the 34. And they need to get to the 12 for a first down. And we have a whistle, and a timeout has been called. And so East Ascension calls their second timeout. We'll keep it here with 5:45 left to go in the second quarter. And more information about the East Ascension playoff history. And they've been from 68 to 2020. And as we said, Darnell Lee, he's 6-4 overall. And he passed up Billy Beasley from 96 to 06 with his 5-7 mark. And you see Barrett Murphy from 90 to 94, 4-4 overall. So you see a lot of coaches with 1-1, 2-1, 1-2 records, or 0-1 records. But Darnell Lee, he has one of 2 winning records overall. Joe Clark, the other one, at 2-1. So Darnell Lee, like I said, he's kind of changing the culture over here. 3rd and 24. Got to be looking for Chopin because at some point that's going to be the connection. Chopin's out to the left. And they're running the razzle-dazzle, and it's picked up by an offensive lineman who pitches it out to Washington, and he's going to cut outside. He's got, whoa, what did they say? Did they say he was down? Or was that a, oh, no. Schuster had it. Let's see if, you saw the tail end of the play right there. I believe they said that Schuster was down. And it looked like Washington had a chance to break free for 6. I don't know about that call. Oh, boy. I hear some booing. That is a questionable call. Let's just say that. Wish they could go to the replay. I know. No, I mean, instant replay review for the officials. Not that we could watch the replay and it mean anything. It's a shame Darnell Lee doesn't have a challenge flag. So they're talking it over. They're moving the line of scrimmage up to about the 34-yard line.
It's going to go back to 3rd down, ladies and gentlemen. We're thinking there was an inadvertent whistle.
So that's what it was, an inadvertent whistle. An inadvertent whistle. So the inadvertent whistle hurt them right there. So it's 3rd and 22 again. And again, we're looking for Chopin out wide to the left again. And now another timeout. So East Ascension has spent all 3 of their timeouts. So Acadiana, the opponents tonight, let's talk about their playoff notes. They're kind of like the Alabama of 5A non-select football. They have won 5 state championships in the last 15 years, 6, 10, 13, 14, and 19. And they defeated Destrehan last year 8-3, which is kind of interesting because East Ascension's playing Acadiana, Dutchtown's playing Destrehan tonight. But they were 15-0 last season under Matt McCullough, his second year, and they won the state championship. They also got there in 05 and 07, did not win those years, but 5-2 in the Dome. I'll take that record any day of the week. So this is why they are what they are. And they don't ever change their offense, and it's the same things over and over again. And nobody seems to stop them, with consistency at least. So now 3rd and 22. Dunn. He gets free, and he's going to run and get downfield, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage on this series of downs.
On the carry.
Down to about the 21, 22-yard line. It's going to be fourth down at about 10. It's going to be a manageable fourth down at this point. You would expect them to stay on the field right here. And they are going to go for it. So 4th and 10. Again, Chopin, he's that deep target. He's wide to the left. And Dunn looking his way, going toward the end zone, and it's caught by Chopin inside the 5. First and goal for the Spartans. No flags on the play. You knew they were going to connect with Chopin at some point, and that was the point. So now 1st and goal for the Spartans down to the 3-yard line with 4:45 left to go before halftime. They can cut this lead in half and make it manageable. This is anybody's ball game. Dunn in a shotgun, empty backfield, 5 receivers. And Dunn's going to roll out to his left. He's in trouble, gets it complete, and it's in for the touchdown.
Dunn's pass is complete to number 2.
That is Kendall Washington with the catch, and it's 14-6. East Ascension has the answer. After the blocked punt, and that's what you got to do, and that's a sign of a gutsy team right there. Demoralized against that number 1 seed after the blocked punt, and that's the kind of situation where a lot of teams are just folded in for the night, and what do? They respond with a touchdown. With 4:22 left to go in this second quarter. Extra point coming from Kern. It's good. And we got a ball game. 14-7 with 4:22 left to go. Acadiana with the lead. You are watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Piku Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Eustis Mortgage, Ross Downing, GMC, for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
Jai Eugene.
And Acadiana gives up the touchdown to East Ascension, and it's 14-7. And Kern will kick off. It's a short kick this time. It's taken at the 10. Right up the middle in a big hole. And he's past midfield, and that's all she wrote. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Oh, boy. Braylon Anthony, the junior DB.
That's a
90-yard kick return, as you see the replay on the touchdown. But it's 20-7 now. Oh, that was easy. Just right up the middle. Possibly untouched.
Jesus Martinez.
And the extra point coming from Martinez. And it's good, and it's 21-7 with 4:10 left to go before the half. So we'll take a break. Acadiana extends the lead. And you're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Piku Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Eustis Mortgage, Ross Downing GMC for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
21-7, Jeff Porsche with you here in Scott at Acadiana High School. And you got to feel bad for East Ascension right there as the special teams gives up their second touchdown of the night, a blocked punt and a kick return for a touchdown. It's 7-7 offense versus defense, but the special teams has been the difference here so far tonight. And the kickoff is going to go to the 13. And cuts outside. He's got room to the 30 and gets to the 40-yard line. So a good return for East Ascension. Michael Harris, junior wide receiver, with the return.
Harris on the return.
So now the one thing about the kick return is that East Ascension now has a chance to get the ball back on offense. They were successful on their last drive and got a touchdown on the short pass from Troy Dunn to Kendall Washington. For a moment, we had a game here at 14-7. Now let's see if East Ascension can make it a game again. Empty backfield. 5 receivers. Samuel and Washington are in the game at slot positions. And there's a snap, looking left, and it's dropped. And looked like they were trying to get it to Samuel. But it falls incomplete. Would have been a gain of about 4 on the play. But that'll stop the clock with 3:58 left to go in the second quarter. The first quarter, Acadiana had the lead 6-0. And since then, they've outscored East Ascension 15-7 in the second quarter. Both the touchdowns, though, in the second quarter off of special teams. 2nd down and 10. And a delayed handoff to Samuel. He cuts outside. He's got a first down. And he's past midfield.
Derek Bercier on the tackle.
So that's a gain of about 13 on the play. You see nice running and good speed. But we have a flag, and they're going to call a hold. It's hard to see the flags on the field here tonight. Field not very green, as you can see.
It'll remain 2nd down. It'll be
so now it's 2nd, and
Spartans.
We're going to call it 21 as the penalty is assessed for 11 yards back to the 30. So that's the second time a nice gain that is called back on a Walter Samuel run to the left side. #16 seed versus the 1 seed. East Ascension, a 16 seed, trailing in the second quarter. Shotgun snap. Dunn is looking downfield. It's up for grabs near Chopin, but incomplete. Good job on defense by Ian Monts, number 1.
Intended for number 23.
Was looking right, then turned around and went left, but it's knocked away. You also see number 12 on the coverage, linebacker Chris Celestine. And so now it's 3rd down, 21 for the Spartans. They were able to convert earlier on 2 downs on 3rd and long as they got a long run by the quarterback Dunn on the previous drive to make it 4th and 10, then completed a pass to Chopin inside the 5 to convert. Let's see what they do right here. Probably not 2 down territory. Dunn looking deep right, and he's got the man, and it's nearly caught. Boy, I tell you what, Jupiter got his hands on it. East Ascension is just inches away on the deep ball every time.
28, Kennedy Pierre.
That's the second time a deep pass has just been off the fingertips of an intended receiver.
Pass is incomplete. It'll bring up 4th and 21.
That play is there if they can connect. But it's going to be a punt now as Kern will
86.
see if he can get it away. As you might recall, the previous punt was blocked and returned for a touchdown. So there's a snap, and it's a high punt. Mons is going to take it at the 35. Cuts outside and slips. Turf Monster got him at the 40. So this is a critical drive for East Ascension on defense, because this is the type of situation where Acadiana could get a 2-for-1 if they can run the clock with this Veer offense, because they get the ball to start the second half. So if they can run a lot of the clock, get in the end zone, and get the ball back to start the second half, that could be a tough hole for East Ascension to get in. So East Ascension has to make a stop right here. First down, handoff, and they make a stop on first down. As you see, big number 91, Alex Lambert, junior defensive lineman, in on the tackle right there. So Zeno with the ball. And this is where an experienced, well-coached veteran team like Acadiana can just do you in. So this is East Ascension's kind of backs to the wall moment, trailing by 14. You don't want to go into the locker room trailing by 21 and give the ball right back to them to start the second half, because that could be all she wrote. So East Ascension needs to make a stop. And it's a quarterback keeper outside, and nobody's home. And he's got all kinds of room and big blockers, and he cuts free, and Babin pushes him out of bounds at the 30. He was out of bounds, but they're going to say he wasn't. And they get the ball down to about the 21. It looked like he stepped out of bounds at the 30.
Brown on the carry for the Rams. He's taken out at the
I don't know.
21-yard line of the
It was
Spartans.
close. And now East Ascension needs to make a stop,
37-yard carry for Brown.
as we get word now that at halftime, Dutchtown leads
It'll bring up 1st and 10.
Destrehan by a score 7-3. So a low-scoring game out of Destrehan. Dutchtown trying to advance and get a home game in the quarterfinals. East Ascension also trying to get into the quarterfinals. 1st and 10. And there's a handoff outside and a hole. And about 7 or 8. And that's Wiggins on the ball. Amari Wiggins.
Taken down at the 14-yard line.
As the clock continues to run with 2:20 left to go in this second quarter. Gain of 7. 2nd and 3. And on second down, there's the handoff outside. And that's a first down inside the 10. Tyven Zeno.
He's taken down at the 6-yard line.
And it looks like Boykins is hurt, and he's grabbing his knee.
Wrecking Rams will have it 1st and goal.
That could be a critical injury right there, as the coaches are headed to the middle of the field to take a look at Jarrell Boykins. And so with Boykins hurt, we're going to take a break right here, and we'll be back in a little while. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
Hi, Erin, reminding you it's time to speed things up with all-fiber internet from EATEL. Your connectivity needs keep expanding, streaming, surfing, and playing games. And EATEL continues to stay ahead of the curve with the fastest speeds. Plus, our eero whole home Wi-Fi will eliminate dead spots in your home. EATEL takes the hassle out of setting things up so you get our #1 rated reliability from the bedroom to the patio. As always, you will get the personal service you deserve from EATEL. Fast, local, reliable.
Get ready to kick off the savings at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. Save $11,000 on new 2020 Sierra or 2020 Envision, $13,000 off at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. New Sierra, $11,000 off. 2020 Envision, $13,000 off. RossDowningHammond.com. RossDowningGonzales.com.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Acadiana with the 21-7 lead and a tough scene as you see Jarrell Boykins being helped off the field and headed to the sidelines, and it doesn't look good. It looks like a knee injury, and it's going to take a moment for him to get ready, although once he is clear in just a few seconds,
Still second quarter.
it looks like they're going to be ready to run off another play. We're now inside of 2 minutes left to go before halftime, and now Boykins is safely off the field. It's tough to see that right there. You hate to see anybody like that, but a guy with a future like that in football like Boykins, it's tough. First down, and a big run up
Wiggins
middle.
on the carry.
And it's Samari Wiggins, and he gets about 2 or 3, and the clock will continue to run, and they're not in any hurry.
Second and goal for the Rams.
As 1:25 left to go, and the play clock is at 28 seconds, so they can get it inside of a minute. And they're probably going to milk it for all they can. You can see the play clock up there in the upper right corner. Second down. Handoff up the middle, and they don't get it.
Zeno on the carry.
It's Zeno, and it's a gain of about 1.
Third and goal.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal from nearly the 1-yard line, and we're at 50 seconds left to go before halftime. And it looks like another Spartan is down.
We have an injury timeout.
And so we're going to have another injury timeout as another player is down. And We'll keep it here for the moment and take a look at the regional non-select playoffs in Class 5A. From last week, you have Dutchtown with the win over Terrebonne, 29-0, and right now they lead at halftime against Destrehan. East Ascension beat Captain Tree by 14, 28-14. Santa played a tough game and had Ponchatoula on the ropes for a little while, but they were unsuccessful and lost by a score of 24-14. And so that puts us at the situation where we are right now. 3 teams are alive in 5-5A. Dutchtown, East Ascension, and Catholic High. Catholic High playing in the select playoffs, of course. East Ascension's here, the 16 seed, taking on Acadiana. Dutchtown's also on the road. They're taking on Destrehan. And they are winning at the half by a score of 7-3. We're hoping to have a game or maybe 2 games next week. Most likely, if Dutchtown wins, they will be playing at home. I believe that no matter what they're playing at home, but I might be mistaken. East Ascension as a 16 seed, if they can pull this off here tonight, I think they need some help to get a home playoff game. Third down and goal from the 1. And they don't get it. They don't get it. Zeno
Zeno
tackled
on the carry.
behind the line of scrimmage, and now it's 4th and goal.
No gain on the play.
And you've lost a couple of defensive linemen, but Reontae Jones, look at him. He's going to carry it, and he's going to make the tackle with 21 seconds left to go. And Acadiana will call a timeout, and so we'll keep it here, and we can look at the by-district round results from last week. Acadiana High, they played Covington High, and they won by a score of 44-7. East Ascension, their opponent, beat Captain Shreve. And then the opponents next week would be the winner of the Lafayette-Mandeville game. And Lafayette beat East Jeff, and Mandeville beat West Jeff. Now, Destrehan and Dutchtown, they would be paired up with the Ruston-Ponchatoula winner, as Ruston is playing Ponchatoula tonight. And I believe no matter what happens, if Dutchtown would win, they would get the home game because of their seating and the number of road games and all of that. If East Ascension would win, I believe that they would get a home game if Mandeville wins. And I believe they are winning right now. 4th down and goal. And the quarterback keeper up and in for the touchdown with 17 seconds left. And that'll make it
2-yard Wrecking Ram touchdown.
27-7.
In the attempt, extra point, number 98, Jesus
And
Martinez. Holding, number 13, Rodney Beard.
they look to extend it to a 21-point lead on an extra point by Martinez. So this is that dreaded situation where they give up the points, don't have a lot of time, and then Acadiana is going to get the ball to start the second half. Extra point for Martinez.
Martinez is
short.
Up. It's good.
Relatively short, but good.
16 seconds go to first half.
And it's 28-7. And we'll take a break. We'll keep it here. Yeah, why not? Because we're that close to halftime. We're going to be running a bunch of commercials here in a minute. But as we said, going back to that previous timeout discussion about the by-district round, Acadiana versus East Ascension, and it's looking tough for East Ascension right now. The winner of that game gets Lafayette or Mandeville. Lafayette and East Ascension, Lafayette and Acadiana play in the same district, so they would be familiar with each other. If East Ascension can make the comeback and Mandeville wins, Mandeville with 2 home games would have to travel next week.
Martinez kicking off for the Rams.
No matter what, Mandeville would have to travel. However, if Lafayette wins, they would get a home game.
And Babin deep for the Spartans.
It's complicated. I was studying that all day today to figure that out. And a little short kick. And it's going to be recovered by Acadiana. And they got a chance for more points.
Wrecking Rams recover the kickoff.
I believe that Walter Samuel thought that ball was going to go out of bounds. And it just kind of died. You see it, and he just kind of just runs past it. And now Acadiana's got the ball with 16 seconds left.
Wrecking Rams will have it at the Spartan 27-yard line.
Ball's at the 28. And now you can get the rare 3-for-1. Possibly. But this likely means that they have to throw the ball in the air. We haven't seen that tonight, I don't believe. I don't believe they've thrown a pass. Quarterback's going to roll out, and he's got every inch of grass, and he's going to score with 9 seconds left to go. Make that 7 seconds left to go. And now it's 34-7. Just special teams miscues are killing them. Quarterback made it look easy right there. Jeremiah Brown. And it's 34-7.
Martinez in to kick the extra point.
With about 4
Rodney
minutes left to
Beard
go
on the
in
hold.
the second quarter, it was 14-7. Now 4 minutes later, it's about to be 35-7.
Martinez kick is up.
And it's 35-7. The kick
7
return for a
seconds to go in the
touchdown.
first half, ladies and gentlemen, you're wrecking Rams
Then the
35.
long drive after Boykins got hurt near the end of that drive.
Spartans
And then
7.
the miscue on the short kick recovered by Acadiana, and Jeremiah Brown goes 33 yards for the quarterback keeper, making it 28 yards for the quarterback keeper. And so the game of the week next week, we may have a Dutchtown game or an EA game. If both teams
Kicking
are
off to the
eliminated,
Rams.
we're going to have high school basketball. Basketball
Jesus
season's back,
Martinez.
and I'm going to have the honor of doing the games for a little while this year. And I'm really looking forward to that, as some good teams between East Ascension, Santa Monica, and
Michael
Dutchtown.
Harris,
Should
Cale
be a good
Babbitt,
district season
Kendall
for those
Washington
three
Beach,
teams.
the
And
Spartans.
if there's no football next week, we're going to try to cover all three teams before the end of this 2020 calendar year. So we're ready to go. Another short kick, same direction, and it's taken by Mack
Kick is down
at the
at the
42-yard line
of the Spartans.
with 7 seconds left to go, and they were trying to strike gold a second time, but that did not succeed. So let's see if they can try to make a connection with Chopin, or they're just going to take the knee. They may just take the knee, as you see Jupiter in the backfield about 10 yards deep. And he'll take the knee, and we're going to go to the half. And a big hole for
That's
the
end of the
Spartans.
first half, ladies and gentlemen.
35-7.
Rams
Too many
35,
mistakes in
the
special
Spartans
teams.
7.
And they trail by 28. And we'll take a break, and we'll talk some about what we've seen and what we're going to see later on. But we'll take a break right now. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
Hi, Erin, reminding you it's time to speed things up with all-fiber internet from EATEL. Your connectivity needs keep expanding, streaming, surfing, and playing games. And EATEL continues to stay ahead of the curve with the fastest speeds. Plus, our eero whole home Wi-Fi will eliminate dead spots in your home. EATEL takes the hassle out of setting things up so you get our #1 rated reliability from the bedroom to the patio. As always, you will get the personal service you deserve from EATEL. Fast, local, reliable.
Get ready to kick off the savings at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. Save $11,000 on new 2020 Sierra or 2020 Envision, $13,000 off at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. New Sierra, $11,000 off. 2020 Envision, $13,000 off. RossDowningHammond.com. RossDowningGonzales.com.
With a laptop, I make them do it just as soon as the beat drop. 1, 2, 3. Is it as plain to see? I go by the name of Jermaine Dupree. Dirty man, fresh in the place to be. And oh, I think they like me when they heard me on the other one. So it's only right that I hit you with an oh, I think they like me when they heard me on the other one. So it's only right that I hit you with another one.
It's game day. A day that should be spent in the living room, not the kitchen. So next game, you just worry about the score, because we've got the food covered. With hand-battered, cooked-to-order, always fresh, never, ever frozen chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
The title law firm has been fighting for our clients to get their best recovery for over 20 years. And now that tradition will continue to the next generation.
Hi, I'm Rick Tata, the newest member of the title law firm.
We understand that it can be frustrating dealing with your claim.
So we're here to help you get what you deserve. If you're seriously injured in an accident, call the title law firm today.
We're not just a face on an ad.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call Tata.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics.
You've waited all year, and now November is here. Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. Save $10,000 on new 2021 Sierra or 2020 Envision, $12,000 off at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. New 2021 Sierra, $10,000 off. 2020 Envision, $12,000 off. RossDowningHammond.com. RossDowningGonzales.com.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network, where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character, and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Concert band for 1 year. He was a feature member in the 2019
Acadiana High School. Jeff Porsche with you, and it's been a tough one here at Bill Dotson Stadium here in Scott, just outside Lafayette, as the Wrecking Rams are wrecking the heck out of the Spartans by a score of 35-7, and it was a close game until about the 4-minute mark in the second quarter. It was 14-7. As East Ascension had cut the lead after a short touchdown pass from Troy Dunn to Kendall Washington, but then the wheels just kind of fell off as they gave up a kick return for a touchdown and then gave the ball back to Acadiana, and they drove down the field, scored another touchdown, and then after a little squib kick that was misplayed by East Ascension, Acadiana recovered the ball and scored on their next play on a quarterback keeper around the right side, and what was a 14-7 close game turns into a 35-7 blowout at halftime, and that's just a tough break for East Ascension, as it's going to be hard to come back on the road 28 points to the top seed in the state of Louisiana, but that's why we play the game. We're going to see what happens in the second half. It would be a heck of a comeback, that's for sure, but we're going to see if they can pull it off. That's what we're here for. And so let's take a look at some of the playoff stuff. We started talking about the 5A playoffs right before we got to half. And as you look at the non-select by-district round results, you see the two teams we have here. Acadiana had an easy game with Covington. East Ascension, they played Captain Shreve in the muck and the mud and all that, and won 28-14. It was a sloppy game, but a big win. And you see down there at the bottom, as Dutchtown beat Terrebonne 29-0. Destrehan beat Ouachita 35-14. They're playing right now at the half. Dutchtown with the lead. They would get the Ruston Ponchatoula winner, and we don't have any score from that game at the moment. And the winner here tonight of the Acadiana East Ascension game would get either the winner of Lafayette or Mandeville. At halftime, Mandeville was winning that game by a score of 10-0. And as the 8th seed, if East Ascension could come back and pull off the probable upset, they would get a home game next week if Mandeville would hold on. If East Ascension wins this game, they would get a home game again against Mandeville. So that's where they stand. But if we take a look at the rest of the 5A playoffs, we can turn to some of the other results, and you see those right there. Zachary and New Iberia are playing tonight. Zachary defeated Airline, and New Iberia beat Southside in their first ever playoff game. Houghton and Alexandria. Houghton destroyed Live Oak, and Alexandria destroyed Slidell. Then you got Central playing West Monroe, and both teams there had an easy time of it. The one upset, there was only one upset so far in 5A, and that was at Woodlawn. Woodlawn was the 15 seed, and they lost in overtime to West St. John as guys came from LaPlace and beat them by a score of 35-28. So East St. John gets the home game against John Ehret, and I tell you what, Thibodaux nearly pulled it off. That would have been a huge upset right there, but Thibodaux played them close all night, and Ehret did not have a lead until very, very late in the ball game. I believe that game had a long the lights went out or something like that from what I recall, and it was a very strange situation, but Ehret did come out with the win. But then they have to go on the road and play East St. John. So that's really where the 5A playoffs, or the 5A playoffs are. And again, you got all that happening right here as East Ascension plays at Acadiana, Lafayette at Mandeville, Ruston at Destrehan. That's the other game we're looking at very closely. Ruston at Ponchatoula, New Iberia at Zachary. Houghton goes to Alexandria. West Monroe will play at Central. And John Ehret, they got the road game as they're going to play at East St. John. And so that's where the 5A playoffs stand right now. Right now, not looking good for East Ascension as they trail by a score of 35-7 to the Acadiana Wrecking Rams. And there's still about 7 minutes left, or they got 9 minutes left as they're introducing a bunch of band seniors out here, a senior night for them. So we're going to take a break and come back and talk some more about some other things here. But we're going to take a break right now and come back with some more halftime discussion. 35-7 is our score. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
It's game day. A day that should be spent in the living room, not the kitchen. So next game, you just worry about the score, because we've got the food covered. With hand-battered, cooked-to-order, always fresh, never ever frozen chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
The Title Law Firm has been fighting for our clients to get their best recovery for over 20 years. And now that tradition will continue to the next generation.
Hi, I'm Rick Tata, the newest member of the Title Law Firm.
We understand that it can be frustrating dealing with your claim.
So we're here to help you get what you deserve. If you're seriously injured in an accident, call the Title Law Firm today.
We're not just a face on an ad.
Call 756-0007 when you're injured. You gotta call Tata.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
Dr. Brian Hollis is Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Dr. Hollis has an excellent reputation for bringing state-of-the-art technology and the highest standard of patient care to Ascension. He attended LSU Dental School, and he completed a residency to become a board-certified specialist in orthodontics. An avid supporter in our community, Dr. Hollis is married to Celeste Pyron Hollis, and they have 4 children. Dr. Hollis, Ascension Parish's orthodontist. Grow up smiling with Hollis Orthodontics.
You've waited all year, and now November is here. Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. Save $10,000 on new 2021 Sierra or 2020 Envision, $12,000 off at Ross Downing Buick GMC Hammond and Ross Downing Buick GMC of Gonzales. New 2021 Sierra, $10,000 off. 2020 Envision, $12,000 off. RossDowningHammond.com. RossDowningGonzales.com.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network, where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character, and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
35-7 is our score. We're still about 5 minutes away from the start of the second half, as we have an extended break here. But we're going to talk about East Ascension and Brenton Cooper. He took home the first place medal in the 100 butterfly at the LHSAA Division I state swim meet last month at the Northwest Louisiana YMCA up in Shreveport. He finished first in the 100 butterfly with a time of 51.49 seconds. So that is so impressive, and we're proud of him, and congratulations on being a state champion and representing Ascension Parish and East Ascension High School. Great job for Brenton Cooper. I'm Jeff Porsche, and it's halftime, and it looks like the band superlatives are just about done here. But we still got a little more to talk about. It's 35-7, and we've been talking about the non-select top 10 power ratings. Acadiana, you see them, and they're just so good. John Errett, and they're 8-0, and you see Zachary at 5-1, Ponchatoula at 7-1. They're trailing Ruston right now at the half, 28-7, and potentially that could be a matchup with Dutchtown. The winner of that game, if Dutchtown can hold on, they're up 7-6 at the last I heard in the third quarter, and that's the number 5 team, Destrehan. So that's the non-select, and in the 5-5A, Dutchtown and East Ascension are still alive. The other teams that made the playoffs from 5-5A are Sanoma. They were defeated by Ponchatoula. And we talked about Woodlawn. They were defeated by East St. John in overtime. So that's the only 2 remaining, although Catholic is in the select playoffs. They're trailing right now to Rummel at halftime. And then 3-5A, and it's kind of a messed up district this year because of the hurricanes, not because of COVID, but the hurricanes have wiped out the Lake Charles area, and you had teams like Barb and Sam Houston and Sulphur that were just decimated, and some of them did not even play a game at all this season. And so the Lafayette side wound up getting all the playoff berths, and so you see even Southside, the number 19 seed, they're the new school here in Lafayette, and they made their first appearance, but they played New Iberia and got beat pretty badly. But you make the playoffs, you can't ever take that away from Lafayette High. They would get a matchup with Acadiana next week if both teams win. Acadiana this game tonight against East Ascension, Lafayette playing Mandeville. And so that's one of the best 5A districts in the state year in, year out with Acadiana and Barb and some of the other schools. But it's kind of a new district this year with the Hurricanes. Kind of appropriate that Prairieville High is going to be named the Hurricanes after all the hurricanes that hit Louisiana this season. Kind of a timely mascot name for you to chew on in the next few years. East Ascension, you see their 5-3 record, but they're on a 3-game winning streak as they defeated Captain Shreve by a score of 28-14 in the playoffs, and then that come from behind victory against Sanamaw 35-32, and it all started with that big victory on Thursday night against McKinley on the 12th. Before that, they had lost 3 in a row to 3 really good teams: St. Charles Catholic, Catholic High, Baton Rouge,
17, Lafayette High, nothing.
and then you have C.E. Bird. They went up to Shreveport. That was the week that the Dutchtown game was canceled due to COVID, and they did win their first 2 games, 21-0 over Northwest and 30-27 over Warren Easton. As far as the Wrecking Rams go, they're 7-1 on the year, and they lost 1 game, and that was to Catholic High. So that's the one common opponent. They lost a squeaker to Catholic High, and Catholic High defeated East Ascension by a score of 35-0. But you look at it, Lafayette Christian, they're a really good small school. They beat John Curtis. They beat Southside. Look at the schools they've beaten: Lafayette Christian, John Curtis, Ruston. They lost to Catholic, but in a squeaker. Lafayette, they're a top 8 seed. They've had a great season, and you look at their defense. Other than the Catholic High game, they give up 10, 12, 13 points, and that includes John Curtis. So that's when I talk about being impressed with their defense, that's what I'm talking about right there. They don't give up a lot of points. They gave up 27 to the Catholic High, but Catholic High is really good, and so that's not a disgraceful score by any stretch of the imagination, and they're just hitting their stride right now, and they haven't done anything really out of the ordinary or surprising. They just run the ball. I don't think they've thrown one pass. The one situation where I believe East Ascension was looking for a pass was that final play near the end of the first half where they had recovered the kick that was misplayed by East Ascension. I believe they were looking for a pass downfield because there was only about 15 seconds left to go. Quarterback rolled out to his right. Nobody was there, so he just ran for 20-something yards for a touchdown. So they didn't even need to throw the ball right there. So with a 35-7 lead, I don't think they're going to throw the ball at all tonight. They're just going to veer it down your throats at this point and just eat up the clock. That's what's going to happen, and everybody on this field and at the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. But the thing about Acadiana and their 5 state championships in the last 15 years, they do it and you can't stop them. So they're going to force EA to stop them, and if they can stop them, get some turnovers, then maybe something else will happen. But that's that run I was talking about, where they just kept that left side of the defense, just kept that side of the field wide open. That was the far side of the field as they were running from the left hash. Right side of the field just completely uncovered, and he cruised in for a touchdown right there. It's been tough for East Ascension. They got it to 14-7. And then the kick return, and then a couple of mistakes, and next thing you know, it's 35-7. And Jarrell Boykins was injured. and you hate to see that. And you certainly hope he's okay, but it was an extended break for the injury, and he was having trouble getting to the sidelines. And you gotta hurt for that guy because you know he has a future in football, and you hope that he can recover from that, and hope and pray that that injury is not too serious. So you see the clock there as they actually added some time to it. And it's interesting because the clock skips. You notice this here? Like it goes from 42 to 40, so it's been hard to keep the time out there on the field. But we're getting there. And so now here comes Acadiana. They are just 24 minutes away from a quarterfinal appearance against either Mandeville or Lafayette High, provided that they can hold on here. East Ascension, they're not going to give up, but they are in a hole, and it's tough to do it on the road. And it's cold out there, and the field is sloppy, and it's going to be hard because East Ascension is going to have to put the ball in the air most likely if they're going to. They need to hope for some turnovers, some breaks, and maybe complete some of those passes that they've been just barely missing on, as they've been close to on a couple of passes to Chopin and one to Jupiter, as they just missed the connections. But the important thing is for East Ascension right here, they need to get the ball back in a hurry. If they allow an extended 4 or 5 minute drive, points or no points, that's going to be tough, because this Wrecking Rams defense can ball, and they can tackle, and they just come at you in waves. And once they get a hold of you, they don't let go.
Number 86, Evan Kern.
So Kern will kick off for the Spartans to start the second half. And it's a line drive, squib kick, and they're going to take a knee. They were hoping for a little break like Acadiana had, but they just grab it and hit the turf as it's taken for no return by number 12, Chris Celestine, a senior linebacker.
Fielding the kick for the Rams, number 12, Chris Celestine.
And now Jeremiah Brown will take over on offense at quarterback, and the last time we saw him, he was scoring a touchdown. First and 10, you know what's coming. And there's a handoff. Goes to Zeno. He's going to get 3. That's going to bring up second down and 7. Actually, that's Kevin Williams. Make that Kean Williams.
Gain of 3.
He gains 3. So 3 yards and a cloud of dust, as they say. So Kevin Williams on first down gets 3, and the clock runs, which is basically their game plan right now. And the ball's on the ground, but he picks it up. Nearly made a mistake as Brown is pushed back after recovering his turnover. Recovering the fumble.
No gain on the play.
And he's taken down.
Bring up third down for the Rams.
By number 4 for the Spartans, Antoine Foster. And he does get a yard, so we're going to call it third down and 6. So if East Ascension can hold them right there, they'll get the ball. And a handoff up the middle, and they get the first down, and he is off to the races past midfield to the 40, to the 30, breaks a tackle, and that's Amari Williams down to the 26-yard line.
Taken down to the 26-yard line.
It is 3rd and 6, and they get about 43 on the play.
50-yard carry for number 22, Amari
the public
Wiggins.
Address announcer says 50. I believe it's more towards the 43 range.
26-yard line.
And the clock runs at 10:24 left to go here in the third quarter. Handoff up the middle, big hole, and that's going to be a touchdown. As Kevin Williams, number 4, scores for the Wrecking Rams, and that is going to make it 41-7, and that's not how East Ascension wanted to have that opening drive. And so you got the 3-for-1, as we were talking about.
Number 13, Rodney Beard.
As Acadiana scored at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, but in between recovered an errant kickoff and got another touchdown. So the very rare 3-for-1. And the extra point is good. And so it's 42-7, and we will take a break. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Piku Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Eustis Mortgage, Ross Downing GMC for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
42-7, this game getting out of control now. As Acadiana, they will never get style points, that's for sure, as they run the same plays over and over again, but you can't stop them, and it's 42-7. So East Ascension really struggling now. Dutchtown also is struggling. They're trailing now by a score of 13-7 in the third quarter to Destrehan. So right now, not looking good for either Ascension Parish team. And so here's the kickoff, and this time they go deep. And Babin's going to take it at the 4. Up the middle, he's got room, gets to the 25, and then is clobbered. Hit hard.
26 on the hit for the Rams. Dontrell.
Let's look right up there, and that's a hard hit right there. Number 26. Make that number 36 for
27-yard line.
Acadiana. That's Robert Senegal. And so East Ascension now with 10 minutes left to go. 22 minutes left to go in this season if they can't pull it out. First down. There's Samuel. He's got a hole, and he's close to a first down. So good job on first down, 9 yards. Looks like about 9. I think he's going to be short,
Desmond
1 yard.
on the tackle for the Rams.
So good running by Samuel.
Chopin on the carry for the Spartans.
So 2nd and 1.
It'll bring up 2nd and 1.
Acadiana scored on their opening drive here in the second half to make it 42-7. 28 unanswered after East Ascension cut it to 14-7. Handoff to Washington, waiting for a hole, dives ahead, gets the first. So East Ascension not giving up. They got a first down.
Ian Mons and Walter Bob on the tackle. It'll be a Spartan first down at their own 39-yard line.
The 39-yard line. 1st and 10. They need points, and lots of them. And on first down, handoff up the middle, and it's going to be good for about 2.
Washington on the carry.
So that is
number 88,
Kendall Washington
Walter Bob
on the carry.
tackle for the Rams.
Kendall Washington will be returning next year, as well as Walter Samuel. They're sophomores and juniors. Samuel's a sophomore.
10,
Washington is a junior. Dunn's a junior as well. Biggest losses on offense probably be Novell Chopin, Desmond Schuster. Deep pass downfield looking for Jupiter, and it's caught inside the 25-yard line. Down to the 23, so you finally make that connection.
Number 13,
They've been
Jupiter.
flirting with it all night, and that time it's a good job. Nice pitch and catch. Kendrick Richard, number 20, had good coverage, but they were able to complete it for a first down. So the clock will stop while they move the chains, and now it's going again with about 8 minutes left to go
Spartans
in
will have
this
it first and 10
third quarter.
with the wrecking Ram 24-yard line.
See the fullback, Johnson, in motion. And this time it's Washington again, and he'll get about 2 or 3. So a short gain on the play.
Washington on the carry.
So the long pass
Julius
to Jupiter
Brajon, Walter Bob.
changes field position,
With a
and
tackle to
East
bring up
Ascension
second
trying
and
to
8.
get closer. Trail by 35. That's one of the strange things about high school football. A game that's very close in one instant can just get out of control in such a hurry, especially when you're playing an experienced veteran team like Acadiana. Second down, fake, pass, nearly picked.
Deflected the
Incomplete.
pass for 6, Caleb Arsenault.
That was Arsenault on the
Doug's
coverage.
pass is incomplete.
As he slaps
Bring
it
up
away.
3rd and 8 for the Spartans.
And so that'll stop the clock with 7:07 left to go in the third quarter. Third down, and Dunn rolls left, looking downfield. Got a receiver caught. So first down, I believe, as that is Jaquel Mack. And it is enough for a first down to the 12.
Complete to number 10, Jaquel Mack.
That's Mack's second catch of the night, I believe. And so it's first
It'll
and
be a
10,
Spartan
and the
first
chains
down
move, and
with a
East
gain of
Ascension
11.
holds the football.
Line of scrimmage will be the 12-yard line of the wrecking Rams.
Now you see Samuel in the backfield. And a pitch out up the middle, and push back at the line of scrimmage.
Walter Samuel on the carry.
Maybe a yard, maybe not. They're going to say not.
Assisting
And so
number
it's
1,
second
Ian Mott.
down and 10.
No gain. Bring up 2nd and 10.
With 6.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Now the shotgun, Samuel and Washington split. 3 receivers. Dunn looking into the end zone, and it is picked off.
Ian
And that's Ian Montz. And a promising drive ends in an interception.
Ian Montz on interception.
As
Wrecking
Montz
Rams
read
will
that
have
one.
First and 10 from their own 5. Acadiana High School would like to thank
And
Lord
he's trying to
Sports
get to
for covering
Chopin
our game
in the
tonight.
end zone, but
When injury puts
good
our
job
athletes on the sideline,
as
the
Montz
experts
read
at
it
Lord
all the
Sports
way.
Care help them get back to the
And
game. Athletic trainers and
Acadiana
physical
gets the
therapists
ball
with
again.
Physical therapy partnered with Lord Sports Medicine. Specialists in Park Place Surgical Hospital makes Lord Sports
Not
Care
looking
an
good
available
for
team.
East Ascension.
Call the Sports Injury Hotline at 268-SPORT. Lord Sports Care, the team behind our team.
So first down at the 6. And a handoff for a loss.
Number 21, Braven Broussard on the carry.
So that's Broussard on the carry, and a good tackle there by number 91, Alex Lambert. Also, Riante
No gain to
Jones on
bring
the
up
tackle.
2nd and 10.
So now it's second down for the Wrecking Rams. In total control of this ball game right now. And the handoff up the middle. It's good for about 4. A very deceptive 4
Number
yards.
4, Kevin Williams on the carry.
That's Williams on the carry. So it's 3rd down and
The gain
6
of 4.
with
Bring up 3rd
5:10
and 6
left
for
to
the
go.
Rams.
On the last 3rd and long, they just gave the veer right up the middle and off of right tackle, good for 40-plus yards. And on 3rd down, and it's going to be, looked like it was possibly going to be a reverse, but Braven Broussard held the ball and got tripped up. As we see a man coming around the end, but no, it was just a blocker. It was just a blocker, not a reverse. But the blocker was not coming around, and so Broussard is held to no gain.
Jesus Martinez in
So
the
now
punt
the
for
punt.
the Rams.
East Ascension will get the ball back.
Number 3.
Clock running.
Cale Babin.
4:10 left to go in this 3rd quarter. And East Ascension jumps. It's a line drive punt over the head of Cale Babin. And he's going to let it roll. I don't believe they threw a flag.
Martinez punt.
I believe they're going to say that the
40.
left side of the
Number 82,
East
Justin
Ascension
Price.
line was able to
Well,
get
the
back.
Spartans will have it 1st and 10.
Or possibly just not throwing the penalty, as the game looks like it's not in doubt at the moment. East Ascension is going to have to do something spectacular to get back in this ball game. Time is just running out. They've been close. A lot of passes from Dunn have just been off the fingertips of the intended receivers. Although they did connect with Jupiter on the last drive. Just inches. It's a game of inches sometimes. 1st and 10. And you see the split backfield, Washington and Samuel. That's going to be a great combination next year as well, as I said. This time it's Washington. No gain.
Washington on the carry. Derek Bercier Jr. and Caden Anderson.
As I said earlier, we haven't had many updates on high school playoff games, but the winner of this game tonight would play either Lafayette High or Mandeville. Right now, it looks like at last check that Acadiana and Mandeville are on a collision course. Now 2nd down, and the pass is caught. And a good catch by Washington. But he's going to be about a yard shy of the 1st down.
Larry Lewis.
Good catch.
For the Rams.
3 guys in the
gain of
vicinity
9 will bring up 3rd and
defending.
1.
And it's 3rd and 1. Two plays for the Spartans to get it. And a handoff up the middle. Don't think he got there. That's Keandre Johnson.
Number 22 in the carry, Walter Samuel. He's met head on by number 90, Cam George.
So they give it to the fullback for the first time tonight. He tried to penetrate that line but could not. Now it's 4th down. And it looks like they're going to go for it.
Bring up 4th and 1 for the Spartans.
We're approaching 2 minutes left to go in this 3rd quarter. Pretty quick 3rd quarter. And they're going to get the 1st down on the encroachment penalty. As looks like number 3, Derek Bercier was trying to come in.
Offsides against the Rams will be a 5-yard penalty.
Was unsuccessful.
Spartan 1st down at the Ram 45-yard line.
So East Ascension will keep the ball. As you see right there, no doubt about it, number 3 comes across. 1st down, pitch to Washington, breaks a tackle, and he's Going to break another tackle, and he's got a first down inside the 30. So Kendall Washington, there's no quitting him. Look at the tackles he's breaking right there.
Number 23, Desmond
Good
Jackson
job
on the
as
tackle for
he
the Rams.
gets through that Wrecking Rams
Spartan
defense.
first down.
In the first half,
The Ram 28-yard line.
couldn't break many tackles as the defense just too strong. But right now, East Ascension's running backs are still running hard. 90 seconds left to go in this third quarter. And there's the handoff. And some more good yardage.
Caleb Arsenault the tackle for the Rams.
After about a 4-yard gain as Washington. He gets good yards again. And he's going to stay in the game, it looks like.
4 to bring up 2nd and 6.
He's earned a shot at getting a few more carries here.
Karen Crow 35, the Ritter 7 in the 4th.
And play fake, and Dunn's rolling out. He's got room. He could possibly run for a first down. I think he does, out of bounds at the 18. I think he might actually be about a yard short from what I'm looking at from the far side of the field. It's going to be close.
Number 99, Caden Anderson.
I think it's going to be 3rd and 1.
It'll bring up 3rd and 1 for the Spartans.
So another 3rd and 1 situation. They were able to get a 4th and 1 earlier on an encroachment penalty, offsides. They're going to bring in an extra lineman. As you see, big number 74 coming in, the Jaden Jackson. And there's a pitch to Washington, cuts outside, will not get it. No.
Washington on the carry.
Yardage.
He's taken down by number 6, Caleb Arsenault.
So you see the carry and tries to cut outside, but
lost on the play.
Johnson couldn't hold his blocker, Arsenault, and so he loses a couple of yards. So it's going to be 4th and 3. And they're going to go for it probably on the first play of the 4th quarter. 7 seconds left. I don't think they're going to get a play right here. So the third quarter will end, and
that's the end of the
Acadiana scores 7, and East Ascension does not score. So our score 42-7, Acadiana on top. We'll go to the 4th quarter. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Piku Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Eustis Mortgage, Ross Downing, GMC, for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
It's a cold night here at Acadiana High, and I'm glad I'm inside. Jeff Porsche here in the warm booth with the great heating system. As the I feel bad for the camera guys, but they're doing a great job here tonight. And you know, we're not used to it. It's, last I checked, it was 44 degrees. So they're out there in the cold. So God bless them. Thank God it's not me. I remember those days when I was working camera in that weather. I prefer being in the booth. It's 4th and 3. And it's a fake, roll out, looking downfield toward the end zone, intercepted again.
Dunn is intercepted.
And so the second interception in the end zone
for the Rams. Number
in consecutive
Kendrick
drives.
Richard.
That's Kendrick Richard. And just a tough night. That is.
Ball was intercepted in the end zone.
That is the 3rd interception and the 4th turnover. If you consider that kick that was recovered by Acadiana a turnover. And so, wouldn't be surprised to see some reserves coming in the game. See some smaller guys out there on the field right now. So it looks like Jai Eugene may be coming in at quarterback. And he is, and the handoff will go up the middle for a short gain.
Number 26, Don
So a
Terrell
short
Larson on the
gain
carry.
by Arsenault.
Going to give him a gain of 2. Bring up 2nd and 8.
So the quarterback is number 8, Jai Travius Eugene. Jai Eugene, not the Jai Eugene quarterbacking at Destrehan. Not the son of the former LSU defensive back. That's the one at Destrehan. This is a different Jai Eugene. 2nd and 8. Strange that you would have 2 quarterbacks in the state of Louisiana, top 5 seeds, with quarterbacks named Jai Eugene. But that's what you got. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4 or 5.
Landry on the carry.
They're going to say that East Ascension came up with the football. Possibly. East Ascension's saying that. I don't think they're going to give it to him, though. They're going to talk it over. We've already had one inadvertent whistle that called a play dead. Now the clock will run and nothing will change.
We have 3rd down for the Rams.
So now it's 3rd down and 4. And penalty coming as
play.
Ashton Milton comes across.
Offsides against the Spartans.
So that'll give the Wrecking Rams a first down.
5-yard penalty. Be 1st and 10 Rams. At their own
Dutchtown still
31-yard
trailing
line.
13-7 late in the 4th quarter. Destrehan with the football. So Dutchtown needs to get the ball back. So it looks like Acadiana will advance to the quarterfinals in this game here tonight. First down, handoff, short gain. 1 or 2. Number 34 on the carry. Some new players, so let's get some new names out there. Number 34, Corey Landry on the carry. Guess you can throw out the depth charts now. As it looks like the JV squad coming out. Those are some small guys. But they run that same offense, and they run it well. And the ball's on the ground, and Eugene loses it again, and it's picked up by Cale Babin, and he's going to score. So Cale Babin, in what could be his final game as an EA Spartan, scores a touchdown. So Jai Eugene at quarterback loses the ball, loses it again, and he was up as he was not on the ground. His knees were up as he got off his knees to pick up the fumble, and it is a legit touchdown, and that cuts the lead to 42-13, and the extra point coming from Kern.
Number 85, Logan Kern, in attempt the extra point.
So high snap, up. It's good, and we will take a break. 42-14, East Ascension with the touchdown, and that makes our score 42-14 Acadiana. You're watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Piku Builder Supply, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, SKR Construction Corporation, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation, Eustis Mortgage, Ross Downing GMC. for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
86 kicking off deep for the Rams.
42-14, East Ascension with the touchdown. Cale Babin fumble recovery from his free safety position. And now Kern will kick off. Let's see if he kicks it short or long. And it's a medium kick, and it's taken at the 18. Cuts outside. He's got room. Number 21 on the return.
Number 21,
Raven Broussard.
The kickoff return.
And so 9:22 left to go. East Ascension needs a few more turnovers and a few more touchdowns to get back in this game. It's been 7-7 here so far in the second half. It's just that breakdown in the final 4 minutes of the second quarter that just destroyed them, and where they scored 21 points in rapid succession. Eugene at quarterback again hands it off, and a short gain, and the clock runs. They don't really care at this point. They're just trying to run the clock and hoping not to get turnovers, create turnovers.
To bring up second and
Corey
6.
Landry, he gets a few on first down. About 4, second and 6. Another back coming in the game, Malik Matthews, number 24. He may be coming in at wide receiver. So second and 6. And a handoff up the middle for about 3. So it's going to be third and short.
Number 26.
That's Dontrell Arsenault on the carry, number 26. It's hard to see those guys in all the what looks like a rugby scrum out there.
Bring up second and 3.
It's hard to see. Third down for the Rams at the 45-yard line. And they'll look to the sidelines with 7 seconds left to go. Now 5. They may call a timeout right here. I bet you that's what they're going to do. Yep. Then they're going to call the timeout with 7:46 left to go. And
Timeout,
so
Rams.
we'll stay here. And let's talk about Darnell Lee, because he's having a tough time tonight. Just had a lot of breaks not go his way. But let's talk about his superlatives and the things that he's achieved here, as he set the record for the most playoff victories by a head coach in school history. He did that last week when they defeated Captain Shreve 28-14. Impressive win in the slop out at Spartan Stadium after a bad rainstorm that came in an hour or two before the kickoff. But Darnell Lee, he's EA proud, he's EA alum, and he's having a tough one tonight, but they'll be back. And we've talked about the players they're bringing back, as when you look at some of the players, Riante Jones is going to be coming back on defense. There's a lot of seniors on defense, but Kendrick Broussard, with all the interceptions at the end of the season, he's coming back. The Jaquel Max coming back. Kendall Washington and Walter Samuel coming back. Dunn and Wheat are both coming back at quarterback. Xavier Jupiter is only a sophomore, so they've got talent. They're not going away. They're likely a playoff team again next year. 3rd down and 3. They do have to replace some people on defense, but I'm sure they'll be able to manage. 3rd down, Eugene keeps it, rolls out, and looking for something, and does not get it as Cale Babin wraps him up for
Eugene on the carry.
Maybe a half a yard on the gain, as he's just trying to make something happen. Does break a couple of tackles just to make positive yardage, but Cale Babin wraps him up at the end. So it's 4th down and short, and it's a punting situation. This might be the first punt of the night. No, second punt of the night. As the clock continues to run, we are 7 minutes away. But East Ascension,
Jesus
if they can get
Martinez
some
in the
points here,
punt.
do something, get it down to 3 scores, who knows? It's going to be tough, though. They're coming at him. They're bringing everybody, but he gets it away. Safe line drive punt, rolls dead at the 30.
Martinez kick is down to the 20-yard line. That's where the
So
Spartans
now,
will have it, 1st and 10.
Let's see if Troy Dunn can get out of the slump on offense. He's thrown a couple of interceptions late in the 3rd quarter and early in the 4th. But the defense is looking for it right there.
Fourth quarter score, Mandeville 31, Lafayette High nothing.
He's got a tough road ahead here because, I mean, he's thrown 3 interceptions, but they're looking for the pass on every down right now. And the handoff goes to Samuel. And he gets a few. He gets about 4.
Samuel on the carry.
Good carry by Walter Samuel. He's just a sophomore, so he's got a couple of years left.
Number 36, Robert Senegal on the tackle.
You got a feeling that they're going to be a running team next year again.
Bring up 2nd and 7.
As they've got 2 great running backs coming back. So it's 2nd and 7. They're going to say it's a 3-yard gain. With 6:10 left to go. So Dunn completes it in the flat to Samuel for no gain. And he is tackled by Arsenault.
Caleb Arsenault on the tackle.
It's a tough moon out there. It's not a full moon, but it is interesting.
Samuel.
Low snap. But Arsenault, he's been all over the field tonight. Number 6. He's a senior linebacker, 5'11", 210 pounds. The clock continues to run. Shotgun. Dunn looking deep. He's looking for Chopin. And he dropped it. That time he had it him again. And they're just missing every time. Just so tough. It's just a game of inches sometimes.
Chopin. It'll bring up 4th and 7.
And so a punting situation. As it looks like, based on the results, that Acadiana will be playing at home next week against Mandeville.
Punting, Evan Kern.
So Kern punts. It's a good punt. Very nice punt. And it bounces. Nobody back deep. And so it's going to take a nice roll down to the 30. So we are 5 minutes away from what looks like the end of the East Ascension season.
A roll down at the 30-yard line.
They're going to finish the season with a 5-4 record. And it's always good to have a winning record at the end of the season, although you hate to see season end like this. Acadiana will improve to 8-1. And they get Mandeville next week. But they get to stay at home. The backups remain in the game. And the ball's on the ground again. Cale Babin picks it up. They may have to bring the starters back in, as Babin will take it to the 36. Was hoping for another score. He got one last time he was on the field. But they may need to get the starters in there just to kind of wrap it up, as this game's getting very sloppy. Lots of turnovers at the end. A couple of interceptions for East Ascension, a couple of fumbles for Acadiana. So it's 1st and 10 for East Ascension. And Dunn will take him out there one more time. This time gives it to Devion Johnson, who is in the game.
6 on the carry.
Senior running back.
Johnson.
So good to see him get a couple of carries in his
35.
final game as an EA Spartan.
Larry Lewis.
He's had some nice carries this season. He's had 20 carries for 80 yards, and he got 5 right there. 4:20 left to go. Samuel going into the season had 515 yards going into the playoff game. Washington had 224 yards. Second down, deep pass downfield, up for grabs, and nearly picked. That would have been the nicest catch of the night.
By number 36, Robert Senegal.
So
it'll bring up third down for the Spartans.
Nearly picked by Senegal, number 36. So it's 3rd and 5. Clock stops at 4:05. And it looks like a new quarterback is in the game. Johnson will get the carry. Quarterback.
Number 6, Johnson on the carry.
Right there.
On the tackle again, number 35, Larry Lewis.
Was number 18, Chris Carcese. So Carcese getting some opportunities at quarterback, and they move the chains. So the clock runs inside of 4 minutes now. Still got Carcese at quarterback. And it gets away from him.
Fumble on the ground.
And he takes a knee wisely at the 40. So that'll be 2nd and 22. A lot of backups here, and this is kind of why you see the sloppy play. It's a tough way to end the season.
On the tackle for the Rams, number 96, Darius Prejean.
I keep saying it. This game is a 28-point game, but really, except for that 21-point mistake at the end of the second quarter when he gave up 21 points in 4 minutes, this has been a fairly close game. Carcese up for grabs, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Calvin Bougier, the intended receiver, and the clock stops at 2:53. It was 14-7, Acadiana, with about 4.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Then you had the kick return for a touchdown, another run on 4th and goal for a touchdown, then recovery on a errant kick that was taken in on the very next play for a touchdown, and that just broke their backs. 3rd and 22, and there's Johnson, and he gets about 4.
Number 6, Johnson on the carry.
4th down and a mile, about 18.
On the tackle for the Rams, number 82, Justin Bryce. It'll bring up 4th down for the Spartans.
Got to give some kudos to the players, the senior players that Darnell Lee brought out here tonight. They've had a great career. Jarrell Boykins, he was hurt, and you hope he's all right. But Boykins, Cale Babin, Ashton Milton, Martez Scott, Marcellus Taylor, Blake Thompson, Brendan Ragusa. They've all been great players, and they're going to turn the ball over on downs. And this may be a situation where they can just take a knee. But again, on offense, Novell Chopin, Jordan Goodlow, Gavin Soniak, Desmond Schuster, they've all been great players, and it's sad to see their career end on kind of a low note. But in high school football, in every classification, only one team ends their season with a win in the postseason. So you came and gave the number 1 team a shot. You fought, but you didn't make it.
Late in the 4th quarter, ladies and gentlemen, Mandeville 31, Lafayette High nothing.
So now East Ascension comes in on defense. Acadiana might be a situation where they can just run out the clock. I don't predict that East Ascension is going to call their timeouts. First down, and there's a big loss.
On the carry for the Rams,
Deontay hadn't quit.
Dontrell Arsenault.
That was a Devion Clowney type hit where you hit him in the backfield. Didn't knock his helmet off, though. 4-yard loss. And so with the end of this game, in 90 seconds, it's going to be basketball season as Dutchtown lost. So no more football after this, as next week we're going to be at East Ascension for Spartan basketball. And they call a timeout just to kind of talk things over, but it's a tough way to end the season. Dutchtown will lose to Destrehan 20-10. It's 42-14 out here in Scott with 90 seconds left to go before this season is over. So the non-select 5-5A seasons are going to end. And always sad to see football season go, but East Ascension and Dutchtown have a lot to be proud of this season. Just making it through the season with all the COVID and all the delays and all the stops in the middle of the season and all that type of stuff. And they made it to the second round of the playoffs. And on second down, that's a run for another first down.
Dontrell Arsenault. Enough wrecking ram first down inside Spartan territory.
The other team in 5-5A that's still alive, Catholic, they're tied with Rummel in the fourth quarter, 35-35. So they may still be alive at the end of the night. That's a replay of the Select State Championship Division I last year. Rummel won that one. Inside of a minute. And there's a handoff and a loss. Number 96.
26 Arsenal on the carry.
Chance Banks,
Lost
sophomore
on the play.
defensive lineman, with the tackle. And this may be the final play of the game as the play clock is not running, so I believe this is going to do it. And that's going to do it for football in 2020. And goodbye, football. Hello, basketball.
Ladies and gentlemen, next Friday night here in Bill Dotson Stadium, Louisiana Class 5A quarterfinals.
So this will do it for our season and this game. 42-14 is the final score as Acadiana defeats East Ascension. And so we will end it here, and we'll let the guys come in and get some warm air, and I'll stop talking and be done for the night. It's been a pleasure. I'm Jeff Porsche, and I'll see you for basketball season next week. Our final score, East Ascension loses to Acadiana 42-14. You've been watching the EATEL Game of the Week.
Congratulations on a great season. Good luck in the future, and please have a safe trip home.